up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. As you can see, I am very excited for today's video. This is going to be my review of the new YSL Beauty Mini Couture Clutch eyeshadow palettes. These are brand new from YSL. I have two of the shades. I'm going to be letting you guys know what do I think of the formula. We have some swatches, some daylight application, and I'll let you know, do I think that these are worth picking up? So if you want to hear all my completely honest thoughts, then keep watching. All right, party people, let's get into it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you are new here, consider subscribing to my channel. Hi, my name is Sophia, and I am a complete luxury beauty addict. I upload videos every single week. I do a lot of new beauty reviews, so if that sounds up your alley, then you are in the right place, my friend. Hit that subscribe button to join our fam, and without further ado, let's talk about these new palettes from YSL Beauty. Now, these are the mini Couture Clutch palettes, and I'm emphasizing mini because YSL has released palettes like this in a larger format before. I believe they're usually 10 or 12 shades, and they have very similar packaging. They're actually meant to look kind of like a little clutch bag. I'll show you guys an example here. This is my go-to clutch bag for special occasions, and it very closely resembles the absolutely stunning packaging on these palettes. I'll show you guys a close-up of the packaging. It is some of the best, I think, makeup packaging that I've seen in a while. We've seen some really great things from a couple other brands lately, but for something that isn't limited edition, for something that's in like a main line, I think that this is absolutely stunning. It's really cute. I'm just gonna put it out there. Now, I don't know about you all, but eyeshadows are not really something that I go to YSL for. I like their lip products. I like sort of their foundations and base products, but eyeshadows isn't really something that YSL is known for. I never purchased any of the larger format palettes, but when they launched these, my head was turned. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's because it's in more of a traditional luxury brand format like Chanel, like Dior. Usually you see smaller palettes, 4 shades, 5 shades, and for whatever reason, this turned my head. I just had to try out the formula. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the sneak peeks of these, but these are supposed to launch in a pretty wide range of colors. Most of them are neutral. Some may say the color range is a little bit boring, but that being said, friends, it kind of seems like what YSL is trying to do here is to launch a good base of neutral colors that are going to work really well for their customer base, that are going to sell really well. I am seeing these popping up right now, the time of me filming this video, in Europe. They have not launched in the US or the UK, but I'm going to be linking my shopping guide down below to keep you guys updated. So I'll have all the updated country links down there. And you know what? They don't have all of the colors launched yet either. There's only a couple. I have 2 that I'm going to be showing and demoing for you all today. Let's talk a little bit about the price of these. I'm seeing these priced at about 64 to 70 euros on the European sites, which is probably going to translate to about 70 or so dollars US. So it's going to be about the price of like a Chanel or a Guerlain palette, or I guess as a Dior palette as well. You are getting double the product in here than you are getting in a Chanel palette. You are getting 4 grams of product. There's a 24-month shelf life, but at the same time, for a couple dollars extra, you are getting what I think is superior packaging from YSL. Reading from the YSL website, it says YSL Beauty presents its new Couture Mini Clutch eyeshadow palette, a new object of desire both inside and out. Couture and Ultra Luxe 4-color palettes that, thanks to intense pigments, offer all-day wear and comfort. These are not what most would consider to be clean beauty. They do have talc in them, and you might have picked this up from the description, but these are actually not described as eyeshadows. They are described as eye pigments. That's what it says on the box right here. High intensity pigments, long wear and comfort. So what does that mean? Basically what it means is that there's probably one or maybe just a small handful of ingredients here that are not approved for immediate use around the eye area. This is something that's pretty common in beauty these days. It really depends on what country you are in. I will keep you guys updated on whether or not I have any reactions to these. I haven't heard from other folks who have these though, that they've had any issues with these irritating their eyes, but it is something I like to bring up just in case you guys are trying to avoid talc or any other types of maybe sensitive ingredients. And now what most of you have been waiting for, let's take a look at some more close-ups and swatches of the 2 palettes that I was able to get my hands on. The first shade that I have right here is called Babylone Roses. This is a beautiful array of soft roses and mauves. Here with the swatches, we have a light pink shimmer, we have a mauve shimmer, we also have a deeper plum with a little bit of gold sparkle, and then we also have a soft medium mauve. And then the second palette that I have here is called Casbah Spices. Yeah, baby, rock the Casbah in this palette. So what do we have here? We have neutral and warm leaning neutrals. We have a shimmering pink nude. This one has a lot of nice multi-dimensional sparkle. And then below that, we have 3 soft and wearable mattes in kind of like a pinky nude tone. And I will say, friends, this palette in person, I don't really think it looks like the website image at all. I'll put an image up here so you all can see what I'm talking about. Online, this looks very much like warm tone browns, whereas in person, I think that this looks a lot softer. This looks more like a Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk to me. There's a little bit of like pinky peach in it, and I'm wearing it on my eyes right now so you all will see. So comment down below and let me know what you think. Now that you all have seen those swatches, we are going to get into the demo. First, I'm going to be demoing Babylone Roses, and then I will be doing Casbah Spices. Timestamps will be linked down below, and then I will sum up everything in my final thoughts. Let's get into that. It's demo time. I'm first going to be going in with Babylone Roses. Let's create a beautiful rosy mauvey look with this palette. I'm first going into this medium toned mauve shade. I'm not going to use any eyeshadow primer because for a palette this expensive, I don't think you should need eyeshadow primer. Also, these feel like they are very finely milled, and I'm afraid that with primer, they might be a little bit like patchy on the lids. I don't like to use primer for this type of formula. So let's try it out. Oh, wow. It's nice. As I am tapping into the product, I do get a little bit of kick up, but when I'm tapping off my brush, I don't see a cloud. It's not so powdery and dusty that it kind of creates a mess. It does stick to the brush quite well, and I find that I'm getting good pigmentation, and it's a very soft and blendable formula. I mean, I got zero patchiness from that. I actually really like the way that that blended out. Next, I'm gonna go into the darker of the 2 shimmer shades, and I'm going to apply this all over the lid. And similarly, I don't see like a ton of glitter and chunks falling out. If I tap really hard, maybe. See how this applies. Oh, wow. It's very shimmery. That's gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I don't see any fallout right now. This is a pretty impactful shimmery formula. It's not like a normal metallic. It is kind of on the glittery side. You can see, I don't want to say chunks of glitter because it's not chunky, but the shimmer is very apparent. It's not like a smooth molten metallic like a Charlotte Tilbury metallic, for example. But at the same time, I do think it looks very elegant. It's very finely milled. It's not chunky. It's not gritty or anything like that. I think it's a really nice, elegant way to do an impactful shimmery shadow. I'm gonna go back into the medium tone mauve shade and just kind of blend all of that together along the outer corner. I'm taking a little bitty pencil brush here and also putting the medium mauve shade on the bottom lash line. I like the fact that these are very soft because they go on so easily and you really don't have to do much to blend. So especially if you have drier skin on your eyes, if you have more mature skin, I think that these are gonna lay down really well. I really don't like to tug my skin and have to work to blend things. So the fact that these are so soft to the touch, I think a lot of you are gonna like this. Now I am taking a smaller crease brush and I'm gonna go into the deepest shade in the palette. This is that kind of purpley shade with some gold sparkles in it. I wanna see if the sparkles give off any kind of chunky look. There is shimmer in this, but I think that it works as a color that you can use to build up some depth. I mean, I went in so lightly and gently, and you can tell between both of the eyes that this one has a lot more depth. So you really don't need a lot of pigment. One of the things that I was worried about with these shadows was, are they gonna wear down really quickly because they are so powdery? Are you gonna hit pan quicker is what I'm saying. I think that you really just need to tap in a tiny little bit. So I don't actually think that is a concern of mine anymore. I mean, we'll see, I'll keep you all updated, but that was a general concern of mine. I don't think that because this has these little gold micro glitters, gold shimmer in it, I don't think that it makes it look tacky. I actually think that it sort of makes it a little bit more versatile because you can apply this all over the lid like it's a shimmer, maybe kind of a good one and done shade. You just blend around the edges, or you can do what I'm doing and you can use this shade to build up a little bit of depth. I'm also gonna take the deeper shade, I think just on the outer corner right there. And finally, I'm gonna go into the lightest shade here. I'm excited to try this. I have a little flat brush and I'm going to apply that in the center. I do think that you could probably go in with a chunky brush or even the little applicators that these come with, and you can use the shimmer shades as sort of a one and done. I do think that they would work, and you also could use these in conjunction with maybe some of your other luxury palettes. You could use them for topper shades basically because they are very impactful. Let me go apply some mascara and I will be right back. All right, friends, so this is the final look with Babylone Roses. I didn't do any eyeliner, I just wanted to show what it looked like on its own with a little bit of mascara. I think it's stunning. I love the brightness that the shimmers give. They're definitely high impact, very, very pigmented. I thought it was super easy to do. I think I could do this in 2 minutes if I wasn't talking to you all. So comment down below, let me know what you think of this look and this colorway. Now we're gonna get into the other palette. I am back, we have a blank canvas and we're gonna go in with Casbah Spices. I love the names of these palettes. They're very exotic. I'm gonna go first with this, I guess the medium tone color, and I'm gonna apply this all over the lid. Kind of like if I were to wanna do a one and done, but obviously we're gonna use all of the shades. It doesn't feel like a traditional matte. It feels a little bit silkier than that. These mattes are not harshly matte, if that makes sense. I feel like they have a slight, ever so slight pearlescence to them. Hopefully that is coming across. But they don't feel like a Dior satin. They don't feel that shiny. They're very soft. I'm also going to apply that to the lower lash line. Now I'm going into the deeper matte shade. This one has a little bit of rosiness, a little bit of peachiness to it. And I'm gonna use it, surprise, surprise, as a way to build up a little bit of depth with the look. I kind of feel like we went from rosy to looking a lot peachier, but it still has that neutrality. They just deposit the pigment in the softest way possible, but I don't have to worry about it looking patchy at all. Now I want to take this lightest color. It's pretty light. This is almost the same color as my skin tone, and I'm going to use it as almost like a matte highlight. It shows up. It definitely brightens up that whole look, and I'm going to take it up here as well to just kind of like open up the eye, and I'm also going to take it right underneath the brow bone there, and I feel like it just kind of blurred all of the little imperfections that I have up there on my upper eyelid. Before I go in with the one shimmer shade in this palette, I do just want to show you all, look how smooth my eyelids look. I just feel like they look really smooth, don't you think? We are going to finish things up and go in with the shimmer, which is this shade right here, and pop that on the center of the eye. This one feels a little bit, could just be that I'm only putting it in the center of the eye, but it kind of feels a little bit less super high shine compared to the last palette. It's a little bit more subtle. So it does kind of seem like these palettes, I only have 2 right now, but it does sort of seem like the impact that you might get from some of the shimmers will be different depending on the color story. All right, friends, mascara is on, and this is the look with Casbah Spices. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Which palette did you like better? It's very neutral, it's very basic, but I also think it's pretty and it's great for every day, good for work. By the way, on my lips, I am wearing some of my favorite YSL lip products, so I will link these down below along with the 2 shades that I wore for each of these looks. So let's head over now into my final thoughts. All right, friends, I hope that those demos were helpful. Now it's time for my final thoughts. What do I think of these? Are they worth it? Are they any good? Should you pick them up? If you all couldn't tell, my first impressions are that I love them. I love them. They're so good. They're so cute. I really like all aspects of these, at least so far. I've only been testing these out for a day. This is a first impressions review, but upon first impressions, friends, I love every aspect of them. Let's start with the formula. I tried my best during the demo to demonstrate and describe the formula, but it's a little bit difficult because I don't think I have anything like this in my collection. It's creamier and softer than the original Dior formula. It's not as powdery and dusty as the new Dior formula because they were reformulated. It's not as like baked and airbrushed as Tom Ford. It's not as metallic and high shine as like a Charlotte Tilbury would be. It's a very soft, gentle, but pigmented powdery formula with a touch of creaminess to bring everything together. And in fact, when I was doing both of the looks, I didn't notice any fallout or anything on my face, even from the sparkly shades. I don't know if it's because I was super careful. Hey friends, real quick, it is about midnight right now and I've been wearing these shadows since earlier this morning, so over 12 hours, and I just want to tell you real quick that I think the longevity is pretty good as well. Obviously the look gets faded a little bit, and if you get real close up to my face in the mirror, I can see that I've gotten a little bit of fallout from that one shimmer shade, but you also can see I've gotten pretty much no creasing at all, even though there's a little bit of creaminess to the formula. So I wanted to share that as well. I think the longevity here is pretty good, and I'll definitely keep you updated as I try more shades in this formula. So I think it's really nice that they created these very soft to the touch shadows that are really, you know, mature skin friendly, young skin friendly, but they're still really pigmented. You really only need a little bit. I was kind of worried that when I got this, that in reality it was gonna maybe be a lot smaller, maybe not have a lot of product. And it's not the most product in the world, but you are getting double what you would get from Chanel, for example. So I really like the formula. I'm really excited for more colors to be released. In terms of the range, you know, the colors, a lot of them look kind of similar, but I'm gonna give YSL a pass on that because they are sort of building out their base. I think that the colors are gonna sell really well, and I am seeing some pops of color. They have a beautiful blue palette that I'm definitely gonna get now as soon as it becomes available in the United States. They have a really nice sort of metallic looking one, great for maybe holiday looks. I don't know if this formula is the same as the ones in the bigger Couture clutch palettes. Please comment down below and let me know if that formula sounds the same. I've never heard anybody really rave about that formula, so I've never picked it up. I've never really been tempted by it, but I really like this smaller format. In terms of the packaging, I mean, you heard me gushing about it in the beginning of the video. I think it's so cute. It's so adorable. And you know what? It is a little bit plasticky, just like a Guerlain palette, Dior, Chanel, Tom Ford, pretty much all of them. They're plastic palettes, but I think they did a really nice job in making these materials feel a little bit more substantial. Number one, with the beautiful gold, and then obviously with this really cool quilting on the front. It just looks like a really cute little card case, I guess. I do sort of wish that these were refillable, however, because I would feel a little bit bad throwing this out. It almost feels like I shouldn't throw it out, if that makes sense. And it looks like they could be refillable because this little thing, you could technically pop it out if you sort of melted the glue on the other side, but they're not refillable. They're not supposed to be, I don't think, but I kind of wish that they were. If you want my thoughts on each of these color stories, I do think that they're both beautiful. If I had to choose just one, I think I would choose the Babylone Roses. I think this one is just a little bit unique. I know that it's pinks, I know that it's mauves, but I really like the beautiful sparkles in here. I also really like that pretty plum shade as well. The Casbah Spices, it's also really nice. This could be a perfect everyday palette with some neutrals, but this one does remind me a lot of things that I have from Charlotte Tilbury. Let me actually show you guys here. I have the Pillow Talk palette, and it's not exact. You can see the Casbah Spices. It might be a little bit more peachy, specifically with this shade, but it's a very similar vibe. I also have here the Pillow Talk Dreams quad. So if you have both of these quads from Charlotte Tilbury, you might not want to pick up Casbah Spices. I was thinking that maybe Babylone Roses also looks a little bit, maybe that's a stretch to Pillow Talk Dreams. I'll show you guys sort of an overhead view so you can see what I'm talking about, but these colors are not new. They're not anything groundbreaking, so what I would recommend to you is that when these become available in your country, or if they're already available in your country, pick up one colorway, one that, you know, you think might be a little bit different from what you already have. I think it's going to be hard for these to not be wearable because a lot of them are so neutral. See if you like the formula, see if you're impressed with the packaging. No need to go out and buy 3, but I would buy 1 and check it out because I think that these are really, really nice, and I'm interested to see what else launches. I don't really care if they're super neutral. I think they're going to be really useful wearable palettes. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and also following me on Instagram, because that is where I let you all know when these are going to be dropping in new locations, when they become available. So all of that to come soon. I'm keeping an eye out for you, friends. Make sure you are subscribed and following me because all of those details are going to be shared very, very soon. And that's all I got for you today, friends. I hope this review was helpful for you. Now it is your turn. Sound off in those comments down below and let me know if you are intrigued by these palettes. If you are in a European country where these are available, like France or Italy, have you picked them up yet? What do you think of the formula? I would love to know your thoughts. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.